This is 10 Eyewitness News with Kristen Devitt.
Good evening. The federal government's proposal for a jobs levy came under fire today. While the union movement is supporting a new tax on income to boost infrastructure development, the business sector says the move won't reduce unemployment.
The federal government's biggest battle in the August budget is the fight against unemployment. This weekend, the government's socialist left faction, trade union officials and grassroots members sat down to discuss the options. A tax on income to fund job creation programs is now under serious consideration within the government's inner sanctum. But on Meet the Press tonight, the business sector claims the levy is just another tax slug.
A jobs levy will not make any appreciable inroads on an unemployment rate of 11%.
The money will not go into job creation. It will go to pay for those tax cuts that he's promised to bring forward.
The jobs creation tax will work much like the Medicare levy does and will target middle and high income earners. It's expected to cost workers at least 1.5% of their income, and the levy has the full support of the union movement. The government's jobs levy will have a time limit, probably 3 years, and that temporary measure will cost most taxpayers at least $400 a year. But the good news is the levy could cut the unemployment rate by 100,000. Stephanie Kennedy, 10 Eyewitness News.
For the full interview with Brian Noakes, stay with us after the news for our Meet the Press program. A high-speed police car chase ended in tragedy in Sydney early today. 2 people are dead after a horrifying crash. 4 people were in the Ford sedan when it slammed into a pole and erupted in flames. The driver died shortly after the accident. A female passenger died late this afternoon. The other 2 passengers are badly injured. Police were in pursuit after the car allegedly sped through a radar trap. Melbourne police are offering a $100,000 reward in their hunt for the killer or killers responsible for the murders of Langwarrin student Elizabeth Stevens and Seaford mother Debbie Freem. Police are appealing for calm.
We mustn't get a total siege mentality. All I say to you is do things, but do them with caution.
Rescuers are searching for a 34-year-old Canberra man, Neil Hyatt, missing in the snowy mountains since yesterday. Bad weather is hampering their efforts. And Sir Joe Bjelke-Petersen reunited with the National Party overnight. After a 6-year standoff, the party paid tribute to the former Queensland Premier and Lady Flo.
We have no real strong positive leadership in the nation and the government.
Overseas now, and amazing escapes for the pilots of 2 Russian fighters when their planes collided at an English air show. Both managed to eject within a second or 2 of the crash. The MiG-29s were trying to do a crossover as part of their display when they clipped wings. One pilot suffered a broken jaw and a bruised back, while his colleague escaped with minor injuries. To sport, and in rugby league, the Brisbane Broncos were back to their best form again today. Playing before 55,000 parochial fans, they defeated the Canterbury Bulldogs 38 points to 18.
Canterbury looked dangerous early in the game and Brisbane led by only 6 points at half-time. But when Canterbury lost 3 players in succession to the sin bin, the Broncos machine took over. Steve Renouf was the destroyer, scoring 4 tries.
Renouf scores for Brisbane!
In AFL, the West Coast scored their first win in 4 home matches with a 37-point victory over the Adelaide Crows. Eagles captain John Worsfold kicked 3 goals to keep the team's hopes alive. Records tumbled at the Sydney Grand Prix swimming meet. Winning the 1,500 metres freestyle event with ease, Kieran Perkins broke the world short course 800 metres record on the way. And Hayley Lewis broke the Australian 400 metres freestyle record, then backed up to shave more than 4 seconds from the 400 metres individual medley record. And after Alan Border's double century, Australia's in a commanding position to win the 4th cricket test against England. A 5-wicket haul by Paul Rifle overnight was just as helpful. John Ross, 10 Eyewitness News.
And England has been forced to follow on. Turning to the nation's weather now, showers forecast for Cairns, Perth and Melbourne, rain clearing in Brisbane, mainly fine for Darwin and Canberra, and a fine day forecast for Sydney, Adelaide, Alice Springs and Hobart. And that is 10 Eyewitness News to the moment. Stay with us now for Meet the Press. I'm Kristen Devitt. Good night.